Boom, 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 boom. We're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live. So let me go and check on YouTube to make sure that we are live. I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it. And let me go on Facebook to see that we are live. And we are. Let's go. Let's go. All right, all right, all right, all right. So, um, I don't have the little countdown today that my girl Danny usually has. Danny is on a plane today, so I am hosting. Today, I am hosting. I am co-hosting, or my husband is going to be my guest. I'm getting ready to bring him on, but before I bring him on, for those of you that are just now tuning in to my Hits and Heels podcast. I'm Terri Bryant. My co host Danny Wright is on a plane. She is the director of strategic marketing for the only HBCU conference. And she's on a plane to somebody's championship or something like that. So shout out to Danny. Hate that you're not here. But with that being said, we got a good treat tonight. So normally, my husband will kind of chime on a little bit. The last time we had him on, he was with my son, and we were kind of going back and forth with the husband and the father thing. But today, I'm going to give him his flowers, and we're going to talk about him. But you guys going to have to bear with me because he don't never like me talking about him. Okay. So if for no further ado, Coach Cisco Bryant, hubby, come on, baby. 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 Welcome to my podcast again. It's not like you're really a guest though, for real, because you're always here. But anyway,
always commenting.
but I just want to just welcome you to my podcast. And today, I just want you to really be patient with me as I give you your flowers. So my baby is the reason why I actually started a podcast, because he made me a football coach. And we are probably we've never seen another football duo, a husband and wife duo that coaches together. I've never seen another male coach bring his wife on as his assistant head coach. Never heard of it on any level. I have seen maybe on basketball. I've seen some husband and wife duos coach basketball and maybe some other sports, but I've never seen it in football. So I'm totally excited about that. I'll let him chime in about that. And then I got my Cowboys on. I'm surprised he ain't got his 49ers on, because this was a long week and he couldn't wait to just rub it in my face about his 49ers beating my Cowboys another year in a row.
I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't, but he didn't have to, right? And so, we're just gonna kind of wing it today, and tell me just your thoughts on. First of all, let's start with you starting with the coaching. Congratulations on being the assistant head coach, right? At Bryan Station for baseball. You're
Right.
back to coaching baseball.
Right.
I'm so proud of you. You've been coaching baseball for
Guess the total will be almost 28 years.
28 years, and also coaching football for 28 years.
Right.
Correct? Okay, so
High school.
you're getting ready to start your fifth season at Crawford Middle School as the head football coach.
Right.
Fifth season is crazy.
It is. It is.
And my fifth season as his assistant head coach, and we've had a ball with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been fun. Different young people playing for us, and actually our first class will be seniors this year at Frederick Douglass and Henry Clay High School. The kids that we coached in the beginning and ended up falling a little bit short in the championship game, but it was it's guys.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's hard to believe they're going to be seniors
and they're going to be
school
seniors
this upcoming football season.
That is crazy, right? And so, so tell us about. So we already had a whole full show about you and Ty. Okay, so of course we're proud of Ty
very much.
him being at. But today, I really, really wanted to be about you. But I do want to touch on the base on how proud of you about Ty, and from a coach's point of view and from a parent point of view, because I don't think we touched on this when we interviewed you and Ty. Just that process of preparing him and where you are now in that process.
Well, the process now is trying to hold back and not put your 2 cents in, because he's getting unbelievable coaching at the University of Kentucky, and he tells me a little bit, but they haven't really got started yet. They're doing a lot of conditioning and getting ready, and so I'm asking him questions like they're about to play next week, and he just very calmly say, "Pops, we haven't got started on that yet." So, but coaching, you relax, but a parent, you never relax. You want your kids to be prepared academically as well as athletic, and so I think that's been the toughest part for me, to stop asking questions before actually it's a question to ask.
Gotcha. That's tough. Okay, so you took us. So when Ty was a freshman, you took a step back from coaching high school, and you totally
Right.
and you went to coaching middle school, but you totally stopped coaching high school anything.
Right.
So how does it feel to be back to coaching baseball?
Coaching high school baseball always fun, because I'm back at Bryant Station High School. That's actually where I was at when I stopped coaching, and it had to do with Ty, because I wanted to watch him at Frederick Douglass, and which we didn't miss a game. It was supported amazing, but we had practice today. Actually, I did a little hitting, but officially practice doesn't start till February the 15th. But you can do a little conditioning, you can hit a little bit, and so we did that today, and it was fun. It was fun teaching young men to swing and not wrap your bat head, and front side stays closed, and so it's actually been pretty good, and getting back on the bike again, and it's fun, and plus having a head coach that is a very close friend helps. And he's is Eric Hagan, who's actually the head coach at Bryant Station High School, and he is a tremendous person, Christian, unbelievable man, and us combination also with Kevin Stentz as well, who's the other high school varsity coach.
Okay. So when does your season start? The practice starts is officially February 15th, but when does the season start?
The season will start to March.
Okay, gotcha. So you still got time.
We still got time because we got some of our players are playing basketball for Bryant Station, and so once we get everybody together, and we'll see what we have.
Okay. So let's go to you making me the first female football coach in Fayette County. Tell us what was your thought process through that? Like, did you even think about that, or what was your thought process, and what made you go that route when you could have chosen lots of other, probably more qualified men that probably knew the game more, or that maybe even had more coaching experience than me?
Well, the process is when you around someone, they know the game, and a lot of times, in your case, Coach, had a lot to do with letting other people know the game. And I think in the beginning, everybody thought you was the team mom, and I said, no, she's not the team mom. She actually coaches. And a lot of the process of putting you on staff was not a gimmick. Football. I know football. And the hardest thing for people to understand is a lot of ladies that gets into a dominating male sport or anything is the female has to prove themselves regardless, because a lot of people believe you get it for a certain reason. And I make a comment if I see a lady, a woman doing officiating or something, and I'm just hoping she's there because she knows it, not because she's a female, because it sets back the process of women dominating, which they are. They can do anything, and they coach any sport. They can coach men or whoever. And I remember I always make comments about basketball. I never understand how come it's always three men or two women and a man. I'll be like, why ain't it all ladies officiating? But but
The women's teams. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I say it all the time. So, but the question is just letting other people know you know sports, and also that you are can see certain things that I don't see, and that's what you want in your assistants. And I'm fortunate I have two other good assistants, and it's Coach Williams and Coach Davenport, and that's pretty good, male or female, is to get the best staff that you can get.
Well, we've had good staff from the from the
Perkins
very
and
beginning.
Black
Yeah,
and
Higgins
Higgins, excuse me.
hmm
Yeah, we really have. So we've been very
and of course
fortunate.
Coach White.
Oh my man, I'm a man. If it wasn't for my defense, he was in trouble. But, he says it was his offense that took us to the championship game. So
Gotcha. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so we got baseball coming up. We got football in the spring. Where do we how do we manage all of this? Because I'm coaching
right.
like as a couple. How tell them how do we really manage all of this? Because we're kind of going like this. Because I'm coaching the women's I coach a women's semi-professional tackle football team, and they're out of Louisville. So I drive to Louisville Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We have practice Saturday usually from like 12 to 4. And so then I go up on Thursday. So we kind of really don't see each other because you got night school. We both got our jobs, and you're coaching. We both come together and coach the football. But then I'm going to Louisville, then you'll be coaching baseball. How are we going to manage that?
We're going to enjoy the time when we see each other.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because a lot of things we've done, and we always have. We've been a couple, and we always did them together. Everything we show up together doing it. So that's gonna be a little different. That's gonna be a little different because also I'm also coaching a summer team, 12U baseball team, and that's gonna have me all over the state and outside the state as you are outside the state. So it's going to be interesting. We will comment on that on another episode, I guess.
Yeah, because I know I'm traveling to Atlanta, Grand Rapids, St. Louis. I forgot where else I'm going on my schedule, and my games are usually like on Saturday evenings.
Right.
So baseball we know is like 6 days a week, every day except Sunday, isn't it?
Well,
Just
high school is usually 3, and then maybe 2 or 1 on the weekend. Summer baseball will start on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and wherever we're at, we stay. If we're close enough, we'll drive back and forth. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, hopefully, when I have my home games, you'll be close by.
Right. I should be close.
You should be. Well, you'll still be in high school. Well, most of it until because I think we play April, May, but then like June, July, you'll be done. But then you'll be doing summer ball. So
Right.
yeah, so our schedules are totally really crazy when it comes to our sports. But even prior to that, when we had tie,
the same thing.
It was the same thing. I mean, I thought this was going to be our first summer off, but then you took the 12 and under,
12,
the 12 and under team, because for the last how many years we haven't had any summers because we've traveled with Ty for baseball.
Right. Well, he started traveling baseball at age 13.
Yeah. Okay. So right after Little League.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we didn't put him in travel baseball before that. It was 13 years of age, and it's worked out pretty well. It was fun.
It was fun. We got to go to lots of places. I love the Atlanta trip every year. and we went to Gulf Shores one year, and I got to see my family.
Right.
So we had some really really great times going to Indianapolis and seeing friends. We went to Chicago to see our daughter Jalen. So the traveling baseball was really really good. Okay, so let's talk about this Final Four. So your 49ers are playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Correct.
What do you think?
Well, I think 49ers. Philadelphia, unbelievable with Jalen. He's going to be healthy, the quarterback, if you will. And the Eagles' defense is very good. So it's the 49ers. Their offense is good. So it's a pretty good matchup. On paper, you're looking at the number one team and the number two in the NFC throughout the whole match. And they end up meeting in the championship game. And so with that, our biggest thing is with the rookie quarterback after his performance is he doesn't, knock on wood, that he doesn't turn the ball over and let our defense turn the ball over and make something happen. So, I'm looking right now, Philadelphia is a 2-point favorite.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're playing in Philadelphia.
Well, that's why.
And the temperature is going to be pretty good. It's going to be 55, 56 degrees. So,
Okay.
So it ain't like last year playing in Green Bay,
Right.
when there was a blizzard and we're not winning that one. But beating the Cowboys, it's always tough. It always is. I mean, I'm just saying, beating the Cowboys. Oh, I think I dropped my hat. Let me put my hat on. All right, there we go. This is the right hat.
Well, I tell you.
This is the right hat. There we go. Like that, 4-9. So, beating the Cowboys here in the house was it's not fun because when you care about somebody and she is a diehard Cowboy fan. So, and everybody's asked me on Monday. They said, "So how's Terri? How's the wife?" And I said, "Well, she didn't say very much." I said, "It wasn't very much talking in the house."
But I really don't, even though I'm a diehard fan, no, not as bad as you do. I was hoping the 49ers wouldn't lose because you're worse than me when it comes to them losing.
I don't say nothing. I don't say anything. Okay, what do I honestly say when they win? I don't say nothing.
You don't say nothing. You didn't say anything this time. But I guess we're the same. We don't get bent out of shape about sports. We don't get on Facebook and gotta clown everybody's team, which I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand that. Everybody can't stand the Cowboys, but y'all keep the Cowboys relevant, and we haven't been relevant since 1996.
No, hold on. I think the Cowboy fans keep them relevant.
No, it's all the memes and all the people dogging the Cowboys fans that keep us relevant.
If they win a game, the Cowboys do a parade. And if they win 2 or 3, they talk about getting in the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys.
But who else don't do that? Who else fans don't do that?
Not the way the Cowboy fans are. There's something else. I live with one. There's something else.
I ain't never thought we was going to no Super Bowl this year. I'm trying to tell you right now. Matter of fact, he jumped over me the other day because he was like, "Why are you so negative about your car?" I was like, "I'm not getting ready to get all bent out of shape about whether or not what they're gonna do, especially the way Dak been playing." I'm just saying, I hope you. So Zeke is talking about wanting to stay with the Cowboys and talking about doing a pay cut. I felt like him and Dak should have did that last year and kept Amari Cooper.
Well, the NFL's about money. And, I still say when we discussed this yesterday, when we was with some friends and we was discussing this, and I think it had a lot to do with Zach, with his injury and coming back from a major injury. And I don't care. He's human. He's not a computer. So in my mind, if you get an injury like that, it's going to affect you mentally. Now, you may walk the talk and come on the field and everything's thinking, but you are thinking, I really don't want to get hit. I really don't want, and I can feel the pressure now. If you certain quarterbacks that gets protected in NFL, we know who I'm talking about. I mean, he's never worried about getting hit, but he got hit the last game, and he had little Sammy Davis feet. Brady was tap dancing back there.
Absolutely.
Normally he's calm, cool, and collected because he doesn't get hit. But the game before, he got hit. And I think when you protect them as much, the NFL protect quarterbacks. When they do get hit, it hurts. I mean, it's like anything else. So, but the Cowboys fans is a reality. They are just something else. They are something else.
Well, I do like your comment about the whole the quarterbacks. I mean, I know I hate always having to bring it up because I'm a big Justin Fields fan, but I know he was one of the biggest sack quarterbacks. But a lot of those hits that I thought that was upon him should have been, what's it called, roughing the passer.
Yes,
should have been roughing the passer, and he didn't get those calls. But yet, somebody like Brady or somebody else, when you're watching them play, they get those calls. And so I'm sure how the league is gonna well, I guess it's never just gonna be equal. Because even when Michael Vick and some of the other past black quarterbacks were good, they didn't get those same calls that those quarterbacks got. So I don't know how we're gonna do it right. We ain't gonna never be able to get through that. Okay, so let's transition.
but we got the game.
The other game. Okay, babe. So who's the other game? Let's go to the other game. So Kansas City and the Bengals.
Right.
Who you got?
Well, it all depends on the quarterback of Kansas City. He's got a high ankle sprain, and again, our son Ty actually had a very bad sprain. Somebody stepped on his foot, and if there was another week, he wouldn't have played. Because it took him about 10 days for he could
Or
even longer to put weight on it. And then so right now the technology, of course, in the NFL is a little bit more updated than a high school team here in Lexington. But with that said, if he was 100% healthy, I would have said Kansas City without a doubt. But right now, Burrow, oh my gosh, he's looking like he's back at LSU.
He really does look good.
He looks very good. The receivers, the line is giving him protections. He's making good reads. So to answer your question, I'm thinking KC because of the past history, but I really believe the Bengals is probably going to end up playing. Hopefully, both of them end up playing in Kansas City. The Bengals and the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Now, didn't the Bengals upset Kansas City last year, didn't they?
Yeah, well, he's beaten them 3 years.
3 years in a row.
3 years. 3 times they've met.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's 3 years
or 3 times, but yeah, 3 times.
And so that's a big,
Mm-hmm.
they're not afraid of KC. And
Mm-mm.
they're a powerful offense and they're steady defense. Their offense is very explosive, very explosive. So with that said, I just feel like that the Bengals are putting up points and a lot of points, and their defense is steady, and their field goal kickers are kicking field goals and extra points. So it might come down to an extra point or a field goal.
Well, at least theirs can make it.
That was a dagger.
I know it was a dagger towards the Cowboys because we was ready to kick him. We was mad that they even brought him back. We didn't understand why he didn't get fired right after the game.
So I love him. But anyway, that's pretty funny. But I don't know. I'd still say that right now I think the Bengals and the 49ers and so that'll bring back some old Super Bowl history because the 49ers beat the Bengals twice in the Super Bowl. And so that'll bring back a lot of old TV because ESPN will show those games and
we'll see Mark Logan on that. We'll see Mark Logan in one of those games.
Mark Logan, everybody knows who Mark Logan is. A Bryant Station legend, University of Kentucky, and NFL legend, and a Layshaw. That's
Layshaw,
Hall of Fame person. So we will.
Absolutely. So that'll be fun. So I'm totally torn. I have a cousin, L'Jarius Sneed, number 38, the cornerback. He's like one of the top cornerbacks in the league right now. He's actually my cousin.
And so I kind of go for Kansas City. And then plus, I grew up in Kansas. So a lot of my friends and classmates are Kansas City fans. And I was a Kansas City fan back in the day when Derek Thomas was there before God rest his soul. Before he passed away, I was actually a Kansas City fan because I was living in Kansas at the time. And then shortly after that, I became a Cowboys fan. So I'm kind of torn for that. But then, everybody around this area loves the Bengals. And I also love the Cinderella story because the Bengals just went so long. And I really thought that they should have they had a chance in the Super Bowl last year if he had maybe just 10 more seconds longer to hold the ball.
Right.
That game, that was a great Super Bowl game, and that really could have went either way if he had just a couple more seconds to hold the ball. And I felt like the receiver, you corrected me on that, but I felt like the receiver didn't put forth an effort to catching the ball. But you said that it was he did, but I felt like he didn't. I felt like he needed to be a better athlete, and it didn't look like he put forth an effort to try to catch the ball.
He did. I think sometimes NFL players make stuff look so easy, and sometimes that's what. Like I think the best example I said to someone, I said the NFL is about money. It's about getting players, and everybody thinks it's easy to switch players in and out. But only a few players in the NFL actually make all the money, and then everybody else makes what they make. And that's the reason why they say if you make it to the NFL, it's hard to be there 3 to 4 years because every year they're drafting, and if you're lower, you got to prove it again and again. So when you go up again, you see an NFL player don't make a play. I guess I give him the benefit of the doubt because I'm thinking
he's got to do whatever he's got to do to try to stay on the team.
Yes. Unless he's got that multi-million-dollar contract, then he can mess up a little bit.
Well, that's kind of how I felt like Dak and Zeke are. I felt like once they got their contracts, they totally went downhill from there. So do you feel like I felt like they kind of peaked after their rookie contract? But that's also that 3 to 4, 5 year mark that says I guess the average is 4 years, 5 years, something like that in the NFL. 3 to 4 years. And I felt like that they hit that 3 to 4 year peak. And then they've been downhill ever since then.
Well, I don't know if it's downhill. I just think that the first 2.5 years or 3 years that 21 was doing his thing, and the running back, he ran the ball all the time. So his body's taking a beating. And then I go back to your quarterback. I felt like that his injury, because he when he came back from his injuries, he had more touchdown passes than anyone, but he also had more interceptions. He had way more interceptions, and I just think he's going to be a totally different quarterback next year, having time to recoup, time to get back in it. So I really mean this all kidding aside. I don't think the Cowboys need to panic on their quarterback. I think he's a real deal. I think he's a real deal. But he's got to get give 88 a little bit more help on the outside.
Yes.
Lamb. Yeah. Right?
CeeDee Lamb needs more help.
He needs more help.
And Michael Gallup also should have been a target, but he was also coming back from a major injury. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, because he ran a 4.243.
Yeah, so he was good, but we didn't see the explosiveness from him that we did last year either because he was coming back from an injury. So I definitely get that. And then I think we had somebody else. I think Wilson or somebody else, but I don't know why they never targeted them.
Right. Well, I mean, you go to your guys. You go to the key guys.
You go to your horses.
Yeah, the horses.
We talk about that when Ty was in the championship game.
You go to your horses. You do what you got to do, and you take those. But again, I just think the Cowboys, to me, they're right there. They're no different than the Bengals. They're missing the little pieces if they can keep the certain players on contract, and then get a couple pieces that's low budget. They're going to be good. I mean, they're right there. Every year they're right there. They're just having back-to-back years to play a very good 49ers team, not an average team.
I really like Kyle Is it Kyle Shanahan, y'all's coach?
Shanahan coaching.
I mean, he's young, but I really like him.
Well, he's mid-age. He's been doing it a long time. His dad.
He started real young, like
dad,
a child.
Yeah, his dad. His dad's a Hall of Fame coach, and he's very particular, but he drafts very well. Him and Leach, they draft well. They draft for their team. They just don't draft the same receivers doing the same thing. They actually draft this receiver does this receiver does this, and everybody forget about Mitchell, the other running back who's been hurt, and he's unbelievable. He's a speedster. They got rid of Mostert, who ended up he got an ACL, then he ended up going to the Miami Dolphins, and so they, I hope the Cowboys don't want Pollard, so we can get him and he can come on the 49ers. That'll be great.
But I think that's the thing too, because once I think you guys get rid of Jimmy G and that contract that he has, then you have more buying power. And I know when we were talking to Leaf yesterday, and Leaf said he was talking to somebody, and they was like, they're not getting ready to give up none of their money. And I get not giving up any of your money. Like we talked about Brady not really taking huge contracts because he wanted to be able to have people around him and he wanted to be able to have weapons. So he didn't take really large contracts because he was able to kind of spread that wealth. And then his wife made more money than he did. So it wasn't like that they was hurting. The money was really an issue. But I would like to see Zeke and Dak restructure their contracts next year to get more weapons.
Well,
that's just me.
I think when you use Brady
you ain't earned. They not earning their money.
Okay, but
Brady earned his money.
Well, I'm saying Brady don't have to restructure, like LeBron James doesn't have to restructure his contract because he's making so much, and you're making so much money in endorsements, and you don't have to. LeBron's a billionaire. It ain't because of his NBA contract. It's because of all of the stuff he's got going on outside. So I just think I agree with Cav and what he's heard. They said that he heard it. It was an NFL guy said it. It wasn't just us common folks.
Yeah.
They said, they're not going to restructure it. The only way they restructure the contract if they already have piled up that money. If they piled up the money and he just got his new contract, the money ain't piled up yet. You're paying off bills. You paying other people's bills as well, and when you're making that much money, and you like draft right. I mean, the 49ers ain't got a lot of people on a lot of money. That's a fact. They got very good players though. They got very good players, and that comes down to your GM, the owner, drafting right. Drafting what fits, not what because he smiles good or whatever. So I just think that's huge if you can do it that way. And it's no different in Kansas City. Kansas City takes Hill goes off to Miami, and God bless that number 10. I forget the kid's name for Kansas City, and he's a load. And number 1 for Kansas City, he's a load. I mean, I was like, where are these kids come from? Right. I mean, these guys can flat out play, and that's just drafting. That's just knowing, getting there's a DB, I forget his name, out of Jackson State. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of his name. He'll get drafted, and he'll go late. He'll go about 200, 300. And this young man is unbelievable. This young man is nice, So it's just like seeing that type of young man, and you ain't got to pay him the world right away, but he's going to help your team right away. Oh,
absolutely. Absolutely. So I went to, I'm glad you brought up Jackson, because I love talking about Coach Primetime and what he's doing. So how do you have an opinion on Prime and what he's doing?
You mean what he did?
Or what he did? He took a lot of criticism, but then, Ed Reed just went through. They was going to hire him, and then Ed was mad at the facilities, and they weren't doing this, and so they decided not to honor his contract.
Well, when you read about it and you hear about it, They both Reed and Prime. Coach Prime was saying the same thing.
Yes.
Is just be straight up, just be honest, and we don't have this. But when players with their name gets people's attention, and the money comes in, put the money where it's supposed to be first. Don't put it over
Don't
here.
put it, yeah.
Because the reason why you got the money is because
of his name.
Of the name.
Yes.
And that's just the way it is. I mean, if you if you tell him if you can do this, I'm going to do this, then do it. And it's sort of like a lot of times what happens is we take it for granted. It's like owning a store. Sometimes our friends and the people that we trust, want you to give them something free.
Yes. Or they always want to hook up.
They always want to hook up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, well, that's okay. He's doing this. He's doing this. Let's put this money here. And you can't do that in business, and especially with two intelligent guys with, it doesn't matter if they can run and jump. These are very intelligent men who can read and write and very, very intelligent. So you can't do that with them.
Well, it was disappointing because I was listening because I didn't realize that Ed Reed had his nephew on the team, was on Bethune-Cookman. So his nephew was on the team. And then I think he lived in the area well. So there was an interview where they talked about where, he could have had offers at other places, but he turned them down because Bethune-Cookman was the best choice for him. And so then he had like Shaq and a lot of other prominent players and athletes or celebrities or whatever that were willing to contribute to the program with helping to build that program up and to help with the infrastructure and that type of stuff. And then they just don't go with it. And it almost just seems like, okay. And it's like an ego thing. Like, okay, you guys aren't gonna come here and bad talk us and make us look bad. And I didn't feel like it was making them look bad. It was just telling the truth. And sometimes people just don't want to hear the truth because, again, HBCUs get bad reps because of the lack of funding. But most of the lack of funding, most of them are state colleges where the state is not giving them the same type of funding that they're giving a PWI.
Right. Well, but it also comes in the same mindset. If you, there's a lot of powerful people who's graduated from those universities, and they make a nice penny. So how much money are they giving back to their university? Because when you talk about alumni at the University of Kentucky or Ohio State or Alabama, a lot of those people are giving money back to the university. And that helps. I mean, the sport's going to bring in the money, but you got to have backing from that. I mean, if you are even in high school, there's a lot of high school programs that a gentleman or a lady, they go off and they become doctors and they end up, again, using the word pile the money up. They'll give the school $10,000. And that
little $10,000 adds up if you get, hundreds of people doing that.
If you get from right now at my high school, if everybody from my high school, Bowling Green High, the Purples, all right, everybody at Bowling Green High that's graduated from there gives Bowling Green High $1. How much money is that? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I think the school's been around since 1963.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. So in the HBU, if people who graduate there love their university and they give money back, it helps. Ed Reed was saying that, he said he went into his office
and it was trash. It was nasty.
And they didn't have enough respect before he came down there to go clean it. Because I know I would at least go clean it. There's nothing you can do with the walls and the painting on the wall, but it would be no trash there because I respect Coach Reed.
Okay.
And that's a lack of disrespect, and I agree with him.
Okay, so I forgot his name. He interviewed the guy that I guess was the president or the AD or whatever that hired Ed Reed. And he said that Ed had came on campus earlier than what he was supposed to or what he was expected to. And he said that they were in the process of renovating things. So when he did come on campus, yeah, it might have been trash because they were in the process of but that was the excuse that he gave.
Right.
But they
Right.
put
But
it back
said
on
it
red
was-
that
but it-
that
there's-
they didn't. Yeah.
Right. I'm
yeah.
sorry, but if you're renovating something, you can tell a renovation and trash. They're not the same thing. And that's a fact. Just like if we know that somebody's coming to our house and they're going to stay in a room, then we, oh, I'll see you next week. Okay, they might show up early. I see you about 9. I'll use it that way because we're common folks. About 9, but then all of a sudden they leave early and they get there at 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. ain't the same.
Right.
So we're not going to wait until 1 p.m. to clean the room. We're going to clean the room the day before, 2 days before. That's what I'm saying about that situation. If you want someone, you got to woo them. You got to woo them. You got to make them feel happy to be there, and we're happy to have you. So it's got to be both. It can't be one-sided. And obviously with the passion, if you saw his, I guess, go away interview, he was very passionate.
He was very passionate, and he was very hurt.
He was very hurt that he's not going to be there. And this is a multi-million-dollar safety, one of the best safeties in the history of the NFL, Hall of Famer. So with that said, is you're getting a diamond, and from my opinion, you treated him like he was a rock and not a diamond.
A pebble, not even.
And I don't care what anybody say. That's and we got to do better with.
We got to do better with our people.
You have to. I mean, you're gonna throw out the red carpet for an Ed Reed. I mean, any coach. Don't get it wrong, male or female, but you're gonna throw out the red carpet for an Ed Reed. What's South Carolina's coach's name? South basketball. Coach.
Oh,
female.
Oh yeah, Don Staley.
Yeah, it's Coach Staley is coming to University of Bryant. There is a University of Bryant in New York.
Bryant University.
Yeah, Bryant University, but I'm making up a different one. And all of a sudden, we're fortunate to have her get there.
I'm rolling out the car.
Golly. I mean, because she's going to bring recognition. She's going to bring money. She's going to bring her wisdom. She's going to bring her friends who has money. And again, being redundant on the subject, but I was very disappointed in that.
Yes, I was too. Very disappointed. And I was very disappointed in the people that hated on Deion leaving when, from his point of view, he was like, I get there, somebody steals all my stuff. I got my kids on campus and they're stealing and doing all kinds of stuff on campus. So now it's a safety issue about my kids, coming out of my pocket. And then we have a deal with the ticket sales, and I'm not getting the money that we agreed that I was supposed to be getting,
right.
And I'm not understanding why you're mad at him when it sounds like they weren't living up to the agreement that that they came up with when he was bringing so many resources. And I was really mad when somebody was like, well, Deion came and used up all our resources. I'm thinking, like, how did he use up all y'all's resources when he was the one coming out of his pocket, bringing all the resources in?
Right. And of course, they were always relevant. Let's not get it twisted. There's been some great athletes that played there in the past. I mean, great athletes, Hall of Famers in the NFL. But in this era, he made them relevant.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
He made all HBCUs relevant.
Yeah. And so in my mindset, he did no wrong because he never said he was staying. He never said, I'm going to be here for 10, 15, 20 years.
Right.
And everybody always wants, and he said that he felt that our God, moved him.
Yes.
And it's funny that he says that, but he also said that God's the one that told him to get off the couch and go to that university.
Yes.
And everybody loved that. Oh, God did that.
Right.
So when he felt God told him to go to Colorado,
that was a problem.
That was a problem.
Yeah.
That's what, that's different. That's just different. I just think that with Deion going to Colorado and wherever he ends up coaching, that university wins. And they threw out the red carpet at Colorado.
Oh, big time.
I mean, they wanted him to know.
Big time. Redesigned his office, and and
I'm
all
not saying
kinds of stuff. Yes.
that university may or may not, but your funding or something should have made it where he wouldn't shout out, "This is a problem." We got you. Sorry about that. And I think if somebody would have walked up, I don't know if they did, but I never heard they did. Like, "Oh, we're sorry about this. We'll take care of this." Because he obviously visited. He didn't come to stay.
Right.
When he left, everything, and you apologizing. You flat out apologizing to a legend, a living legend, because he is. He's a great guy. The stuff I've heard about him.
But then I think as an administration, the way he was treated, you're not going to be able to bring someone to his caliber back there again. I don't think so.
Mm.
You'll get another coach, somebody that wants to coach, somebody that just wants to coach, but you're not going to get somebody from his caliber,
right,
there as a coach to replace
the
him.
only one you could get at the top of my head at his caliber would be a Ronnie Lott.
Does Ronnie want to coach?
No, based on that position.
Okay, gotcha.
You would have to get someone like that.
Yes.
Okay, because now the name is the same. Ronnie
Yes.
and they're right here.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying it'll be very difficult to find someone of his caliber to replace him, because they're not going to want to come into that situation and deal with that foolishness like that.
Well, I guess the NFL draft is coming up.
The draft is coming up. Okay. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I am a Kentucky fan 100%. But if Will Levis gets drafted over Stroud or the Alabama coach, quarterback, I'm gonna be mad.
Okay, and then we discussed that. Okay, why are you mad?
Because I don't think that Levis proved himself.
Right.
He didn't. There were 3 games that he lost that should have, at least 3 that we lost because of him. He looked like Dak Prescott, throwing away the ball, not protecting the ball, not being accurate. So he did not look like an NFL. He didn't look like a first round top 2 pick NFL quarterback.
Right. Well, I think Bryce Young, the problem that I found in Bryce Young is this. To me, Bryce Young is small.
How tall is he?
No, I don't know if he's 6 foot, but the problem is he only weighs 180 pounds.
Really?
And you've been in college.
He's my size.
He's small. And that's a big deal because, okay, how, can he take the pounding of, someone coming off the edge? Because that's small. So you got to pay him.
Can he handle it? Michael Parsons coming off the edge?
Who?
Michael Parsons. Don't make me punch you.
No, he's good. He's a piece. I'm just kidding. And I think that's my biggest thing.
But C.J. Stroud from Ohio State and Bryce Young should be number 1, number 2. Which one do you think is the best?
Bryce Young
or C.J. Is it C.J. Stroud?
It's C.J.
Yeah.
C.J. Ohio State is unbelievable.
He played a great game against Georgia.
In the Georgia game, to me, put him over the top because coach was changing the defense. He was moving people around. He made his reads. He did what he wanted. And he was steady the whole time. The only one game I forget that he had a bad game, it was a blizzard. It's nothing you can do when the wind's blowing 50 miles an hour. But, he had good receivers. Don't get it wrong. But with that said, he was outstanding. I think Will Levis, to me, my opinion on him is I think he's very good. He's got a strong arm. He's big. He's strong. I thought this year he was nicked with some injuries, and theoretically, maybe in his head, he did the same thing as Prescott.
He
doesn't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to take the pound, and he wants to move to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And he's outstanding because you think of 2 seasons ago, not this past season.
Oh, he was bad.
He was on because he was truly healthy.
Yes.
Ask Louisville. He was he was truly healthy.
You're right, because he hardly ran the ball this year like he did last year,
Right,
the year before, because of his injury. He had like turf toe or something, I think.
Right.
That,
but another quarterback we all missing is Anthony Richardson out of Florida. That young man is outstanding. I think he's one of the top 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks, or 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks that goes into the draft this year. I mean, he's athletic. He can throw. He reads. So I think it's what you need. Then you got to look at the free agent. Okay, is Brady is
it's a lot of free agents.
Well, if you think of Tom Brady, you think of Green Bay Packers quarterback was Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you've got quite a bit of them that has potential to leave their nest. Vegas' quarterback who quit at the end, Carr. And so that makes a difference on who you draft. Because if you get one of them, it's fine. You can put a Levis behind him. He does not have to go in to be the starter. You can already get a veteran quarterback. And that right there says, okay, I can develop this young man. Not even go back to Bryce. Young, outstanding young man. He's done his thing. He's outstanding.
Yeah, we got to look up how tall he is. But you're right. He looks small on TV.
No, but his weight is the problem.
Really, he's got to get his weight up.
It's sort of like and we're not again harping on our son, but it's an easy subject to talk about. His thing is he's 188, 190, but he's coming out of high school. Okay. When he gets to the University of Kentucky, which is there, he's going to gain weight, a maturity weight. Bryce Young has gained maturity weight as well as lifting, protein, the whole 9 yards, and he weighs 180 some pounds.
Yeah.
And that's what the NFL is talking about, because NFL is money. If they invest in you and you get injured on the field, they still got to pay you.
Yeah, because there's been a couple, but there was a couple busts this year.
Right.
What was it? The Wilson kid? Was it Wilson?
Right. But
that got benched, and they went ahead of Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, even with Justin Fields, will Chicago
will they draft for an offensive line?
No.
Or will they draft another quarterback?
They draft another quarterback and
for his backup.
No.
Or to replace him and trade him?
Hey, I'm just saying that's the rumor on the street.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's happening.
Gotcha.
Okay, but Chicago will be very smart if they just go ahead and get.
Oh, because this will be his Justin's third year.
Yeah, he'd be very smart to get Willie Anderson, the outside linebacker for Alabama. To me, he's the number one pick. But you got to take NFL. It's about what you need. Okay, if the 49ers had the number one pick, they're not taking a quarterback.
Right.
They already got 3 on their roster that's pretty good. One that should be good after if he gets there. And then Jimmy G I'm happy, he can go ahead and stay on the roster, get a ring, and ride off in the sunset. Right off.
Is he a free agent also, or no?
Oh, yeah, he's in last year of his contract. Yeah, So
again, he's in that category as well.
So I think that's the whole key of drafting a quarterback. To me, it's just what you need.
And I think somebody that was unfortunate that we haven't discussed that I thought was really, really good, but he got injured, was Hooker out of Tennessee. What year is he?
Right, because Chicago's got the number one pick, right, overall.
Do they got the number one pick overall?
Yeah, Chicago's got the number one pick overall.
Oh.
Chicago Bears got the number one pick overall.
So if they pick a quarterback, then they'll be looking to trade Justin?
Right. Or they will trade that pick.
Or they trade that pick to get something else.
I'm pretty sure Chicago's got the number one pick. I'm willing to bet on that.
Gotcha.
Willing to bet on that. But Trey Wilson, the Texas edge guy as well. So NFL again all depends on who you like, what you need. Like the Niners, if they did a pick right now based on everybody's on contract, I'm thinking who would they get?
What do they need? Because every position is loaded.
Right, and the only thing I would think they would get is another outstanding linebacker.
Yeah,
come off the edge. That's it. So my point is that's the NFL. That's the NFL. I mean, there's no wrong, but I will say the Levis is pretty good.
Okay. Well, well, going back to that, I think you have to credit if we go back to the Bengals, because that first year that your boy got hurt, they came back, and then now I think the last game they was like he didn't hardly get touched, so they just went from one.
Who are we talking about? The quarterback.
The quarterback.
Oh,
What's his name?
um,
Burrow.
Burrow.
Right. So I just get a brain fart about it. So Burrow, gets a major injury because he wasn't protected, but now he's got plenty of time to throw the ball. And
Right.
And I think that that is the Bengals doing a great job of trading and getting people in to protect him. And I think that that's the thing that needs to happen in Chicago.
But the blocking scheme makes a difference, and who you playing up against makes a difference, because if we go like right now in bringing it back to Lexington, the defense of Frederick Douglass was outstanding.
Oh my God, the best I've seen ever.
In Lexington say what they want to.
Yes.
I mean, and I kept saying the defense is outstanding.
Yes.
I mean, all across the board, all of them.
I mean, 70 yards for the whole freaking season.
I mean, all of them were about amazing.
I mean, 70 points.
Right. But what I'm getting at is all of them. NFL is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole key to anything you do is you may be able to block this team, but this team. And that's what you just said, just riding your coattail on that is that's what the Bengals did. They made an adjustment, what they needed to. They double blocked down, meaning the running back helped or chipped, as people say. And so it's enlightening.
Well, that's fun. That's fun. So let's go back. I don't mean to be going back and forth because I'm so unscripted with this. I kind of just we always just wing it on my podcast. We never have a script. We just kind of just wing it because we just like to talk sports. So let's go back to sports. Go back to NCAA college. Tell me about how you're feeling about the whole NIL.
NIL, to me, is overdue. I just think they went from 0 to 100 with it. It needs to be structured. Okay, just like the portal. It needs to be structured. And it's getting better. Everything's going to get better in time. I always thought players, I used to say this quite often before the NIL. When I played a long, long time ago, it was millions of dollars. And I
even back then.
Millions. No, but my point is now, in this day and age, these kids are bringing in billions of dollars. and where a lot of people don't want to get paid, they said, well, they're on a scholarship. Wait a second. Take your car into a garage, okay, and it needs this part. Which one of them costs more, the labor or the part? The labor. The labor builds the foundation, okay, and it goes back to Coach Reed. Coach Reed is that person that's going to bring in the money. You're going to bring in this athlete to bring in the money. And the coaches in the NCAA that knows that, and I love them for it, is they understand. I just think it needs to be tweaked a little bit. You don't need to be paying because you're going to get envy. You can't pay a college kid
$8 million,
and then the other guy's making $20. And you saying $20 blocked for the 13 million. That ain't happening.
Right.
And I think that's what I mean. It's got to be a little bit more structured to it because I don't care how great that quarterback is. If he don't have blocking, we go back to Justin Fields. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And he broke records, not because.
Privilege to know him. So to answer your question even more is it's got to be structured because when the judge said yes, when they sued, and then all of a sudden it just the waterfall came.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it'll get better. And
yes, because it's still new.
It's still very new.
Yeah, it's still new. So they still have to figure it out. I think
players in all sports, if you're in NCAA, they all should get something.
Okay, but it's coming to high school. How do you feel about that? Because there are some states that's already getting NIL at the high school level.
Well, I remember the coaching at Beaumont Middle School a long time ago, and the principal, and I forget her now, I apologize if she's hearing me, is, she shook my hand. I was there with Coach Larry Pointer, who's the head baseball coach at Taste Creek, and we're coaching together, and she knew who I was based on at school, and she says, your reputation precedes you as a coach, and she shakes my hand, and I'm trying to pull away, and she don't let me, and she says, I want to win correctly, no cheating, but if we win, people will show up, and people will buy books, and people will buy. I can buy books, and people will buy stuff. And what she was saying is, like you're talking about high school. Okay, when you win, people come, a lot of money comes. And
the sponsorships come.
Because everybody wants to be a part. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we work. I love cheering on my 49ers. I love cheering on my University of Kentucky. It's because that is fun. You go to work, you come home, and if there's no sports on, what do? You sit there like there's nothing to watch.
Yeah, because TV. Because once the Super Bowl goes off, no, we watch March Madness.
Yeah, but there's a dead period.
But there's a dead period.
Because
so then
baseball,
after March Madness, because I can watch baseball live, but I never really be able to get into it on TV. And then we don't watch the NBA playoffs until the Final Four, or maybe even the championship, because it's boring to us. So our TV don't even come on.
Right.
We really have to struggle to find something to watch on TV during that. Or you watch Andy Griffith. Lord have mercy. Or this is what he'll watch. Andy Griffith, not Tombstone. What is it?
Tombstone.
Not Tombstone. What is it? It's like Tombstone.
Oh, you mean Gunsmoke?
Gunsmoke. Lord have mercy. He's so old school with that.
Hey.
I ain't feeling neither one of them. Right. So the TV don't come on. Don't come on for me.
Gunsmoke's a lot of killing. All they do is kill each other in a show.
Right. Okay. So, well, Coach, hubby, baby, is there anything that you want to discuss? Because we're kind of over our time right now. But is there anything that you kind of want to discuss?
No,
I didn't bring up.
No, we hit on everything, and I appreciate you inviting me. And
well, I'm proud of you. I love
your partner in crime.
She's on the plane.
On the plane. She's still on that plane.
I think she's headed to a championship. Because she's the director of strategic.
Right, but she's still on the plane.
Marketing. She might be still on the plane. I forgot where she was going, but she's going to some championship.
She's probably got her feet up on the plane.
I think they got indoor because they're real big on track. They don't have it's the only HBCU conference.
Right.
And they don't have football, but they're really big on track. So right now it's like indoor tracks. I think she's going to the indoor track championship.
Right. Well, I've always said, I don't know if I actually said it to her, but I hope she's listening, and that I appreciate it a lot when she actually drove down here in the cold and snow and was out there, with a jacket all the way right here, and you could only see right here. I don't know how she watched the game.
She's a little itty bitty anyway.
Yeah, she was right there, so a shout out, and I hope you make your trip safe.
Danny.
All right. Well, I'm out. She'll close it. Guys, I appreciate you. All right.
Thank you, babe. Appreciate you.
All right. Team Bryant. Oh, by the way, 49ers. 49.
And there you have it. Hits and Heels. We're in season 2. I think this was episode 8, I believe. So we have 2 more episodes for season 2, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll start episode 3. We are available on YouTube, Hits and Heels. If you look up Hits and Heels, we should be the only ones that grow up, that shows up. When we chose the name, I can't say we chose the name. When Danny chose the name Hits and Heels, it just fit us perfectly. So when Danny and I met through a mutual friend where we were both coaching football at the same time. So of course, there's not a whole lot of female football coaches around. So we hit it off right off the grip because, she had some things she wanted to be able to have a conversation about. And there's not too many women that you can pick up the phone and just call and be like, look, I'm at football practice and this is what's going on. And, and that can relate. So that's how she and I hit it off. And then we got to the point where our conversations were just so intense sometimes that we were like, girl, this should be a podcast. And then Danny, being the strategic marketer that she is, made it happen. And she created our logo. We picked out the colors, and she set everything up for us. I think we're also on TikTok, but I don't think we've downloaded any videos yet. But we're also on Facebook, and we haven't. I don't think I've set up the Twitter and anything yet. But we are all live on Facebook. But you can always go to Hits and Heels on YouTube and catch some of our previous episodes or catch some of our episodes going forth. Okay, so well, I just want to thank you all for anybody that tuned in today. Thank you for anybody that's on here catching the replay. I appreciate you. And Terri Bryant is out, and we'll see you next week. Oh, we're on here every Wednesday at 9:00 because that's the only time she and I can get on. Because I just told y'all our schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I go to Louisville, and then she's doing her thing. So this is Wednesday night was the only night that we can kind of get it in at 9:00. So this is how we able to get it in. Anyway, peace out. I love y'all, and we'll catch y'all next Wednesday on Hits and Heels. Have a good one.